And because the chaos is still taking place, this is the 5th day, the organizers are saying we're not going anywhere. Former Chief Bordeleau, great to have you back on the program. What is the challenge for police? The city wants these people gone, and Chief Slowly has said there may not be a policing solution. What does that mean?
Yeah, I think, Evan, good to be on. This poses a significant challenge for the chief and the city of Ottawa. This has never been seen in certainly my 35-year policing career. This type of demonstration is volatile. You've got hundreds of trucks that have taken over the downtown core, including residential streets. You've got a core group of demonstrators that are refusing to leave. And it's impacting the livelihood of businesses in the downtown core, residents that are hearing noise 24 hours a day, the diesel smell. There have been criminal acts involving residents in the community by these demonstrators. So it's paralyzed our downtown core, and they're in fact occupying the downtown core now. So they have to figure out a way, how do we end this peacefully? And there's always when you go in and remove people forcibly, there's always a risk of serious injury. And we've seen examples across the world when police go in with hard tactics, people will get hurt. And the chief is trying to minimize that risk. But I think the bigger challenge now is the potential of demonstrators, new demonstrators coming to Ottawa and being able to sustain. How do you prevent them from coming into the city? If you remove the trucks, you remove the protesters today, there's new ones that are going to come in. And that's what the intelligence and the information that they're getting that the chief announced today.
Oh, okay, but the average person is looking at this and say, okay, the former chief is calling this an occupation, they're violating laws, and now the new chief says there may not be a policing solution to this demonstration. If there's no policing solution, does that mean the police have given up? What message does that send to people? And does that message send to the protesters say, great, there's no policing solution, we can camp out as long as we want, as they say they're going to do?
Well, the chief has been very clear, and they've been doing a great job in managing this complex and dynamic demonstration from day one. So kudos to them, and kudos to the frontline officers who are out there day in, day out managing this. I think what I hear the chief signaling today is that, Mr. Prime Minister, I need some help here. You're the one that can make this go away very quickly by talking to the demonstrators. That's what I get when he's saying there may not be a unique policing solution to this.
Okay, but you've got senior MPs on Parliament Hill walking out and demonstrating with them, saying we're with this, the quote, freedom lovers. Does that make the policing job harder when federal political leaders are there egging what you call the occupation on?
I believe it is. And when you have political leaders that continue to influence and support this type of criminal and illegal behavior that is paralyzing the city, which is impacting businesses, which is impacting residents in our downtown core, I don't believe it's appropriate for people to continue to put fuel on the fire. And in addition to that, when you have now, this is an international movement where you have information that talks about people from the U.S. That are interested in coming to support this type of movement, that's not good news for our city. And how are you going to be able to continue to sustain that without any involvement at the political level?
Charles Bordeleau, I'm going to show our viewers what you're saying about money coming in from different groups in the United States to support the truckers. Here's what Chief Slowly, the current chief of police, said about that. I want our viewers to check this out.
We are now aware of a significant element from the United States that have been involved in the funding, the organizing, and the demonstrating. They have converged in our city, and there are plans for more to come.
Okay, so there's U.S. money funding the operation, they're converging on the city, and there are more to come. So just unpack that. What does this essentially mean? This is about to blow up again, and and what kind of money is coming from the U.S.? How do we understand that?
I don't know the details around how the money is coming in from the U.S., But there's no question that there's an international movement front, not only in Canada, but the U.S., to try and support this cause that is unfolding here in the nation's capital. And that's what the chief is signaling, that policing alone may not be able to resolve this peacefully, and they need some help.
Okay, how quickly, sir, in your mind, because people are wondering, on the weekend it could get bigger, more people could pour in. There's a copycat protest at the border crossing in Coutts, Alberta, that's just got big. The RCMP tried to disband it on yesterday. We were covering it live on this program. It actually got bigger afterwards. You can hear the horn still honking out here. How long could this go on for, sir?
Well, I think that's the big question, as far as, if they can go in and remove everybody tonight or tomorrow if they wanted to. They could just bring the resources in. It's very difficult, and the risks associated with that are very high, but they could do that operation. However, what's going to happen the next day? Will that further inflame the situation and increase the likelihood of truckers that have already left to come back to Ottawa to protest against the actual removal of the protesters? And you've got that U.S. influence that's coming as well. So these are very significant challenges that the chief is being faced with, and the city of Ottawa as well. How do they manage this? And that's what I indicate. I don't believe for a minute that he has given up. He is doing everything he can to best manage this situation and keep the public safe, having public safety as the #1 priority. However, there are bigger things at play here, and that he's reaching out to the government to be able to say, I need your help. I need your intervention here to be able to help me de-escalate this and to help the residents of our city go beyond or go past this in a positive way.
Former Ottawa Police Chief Charles Bordeleau, I really appreciate that insight. Thank you, sir.
Quite welcome, Reverend.